Ma'am Zenith Cerbito.
And Ma'am Ivel Suarez.
Brought to you by Zenith Production.
Also, shout out to Miss Bernadette Guzman, our advisor.
Oh, it's school time! Let's learn!
Welcome to our lesson on Lorraine Hansberry's A Reason in the Sun, a groundbreaking play that explores the struggles of an African-American family in 1950s Chicago. Through the lens of the younger family's dream and conflicts, Hansberry addresses themes of racial discrimination, identity, and pursuit of a better life. Join us as we delve into the characters and their description of the characters.
A Reason in the Sun is a play by Lorraine Hansberry that portrays the struggles of an African-American family living on the south side of Chicago in the 1950s.
Lorraine Hansberry, which is the author from The Reason in the Sun. She was an American playwright and writer. She was the first African-American female author to have a play performed on Broadway. Now let's move on to the characters in the story. We have here Walter Younger, the protagonist of the play. Walter is a dreamer who wants to be rich and devises plans to acquire wealth with his friend. Particularly, Willie Harris, when the play opens, he wants to invest his father's insurance money in a new liquor store venture. He spends the rest of the play endlessly preoccupied with discovering a quick solution to his family's various problems. We have here is Benita Younger, Mama's daughter and Walter's sister. Benita is an intellectual, 20 years old. She attends college and is better educated than the rest of the family. The Younger's family, I mean. Some of her personal beliefs and views have distanced her from conservative Mama. She dreams of becoming or being a doctor and struggles to determine her identity as well-educated black woman. We have here is Mama, which is the Walter and Benita's mother, the matriarch of the family. Mama is religious, moral, and maternal. She wants to use her husband's insurance money as a down payment on a house with a backyard to fulfill her dream for her family to move up in the world. This is Ruth Younger, Walter's wife and Travis' mother. Takes care of the Younger's small apartment. Her marriage to Walter has problems, but she hopes to rekindle their love. She is about 30, but her weariness makes her seem older, and her almost pessimistic pragmatism helps her to survive. This is my favorite character. I don't know why, but he's so good. And this is Joseph as a guy, a Nigerian student in love with Benita. As a guy, as he is often told, is very proud of his African heritage, and Benita hopes to learn about her African heritage from him. He eventually proposed marriage to Benita, by the way. And I really like this guy, totally. He hopes that she will return to Nigeria with him also, so he's a pretty good guy. By the way, this is a short commercial, and who do you think Benito will choose? This guy. Oh my god, this is another suitor. Oh my god. This is George Murchison, a wealthy African-American man who cursed Benita. The Youngers approve of George, but Benita dislikes his willingness to submit to white culture and forget his African heritage. So I think this guy is a little bit greedy, and forgets his origin, his heritage, which is African heritage, right? Also, if I were Benita, I will not choose this person, actually, in my opinion, but if Benita wants him, then, but as you can see in the description, Benita dislikes him. So, yeah. This is Mr. Carl Linder, the only white character in the play the youngest apartment from the Clybourne Park Improvement Association. He offers the youngest a deal to reconsider moving into his all-white neighborhood. Like, all-white. He's kinda a little bit, racist. Guys, this is Travis Younger. This is Walter and Ruth's only son, I think. Wait, Ruth is pregnant, right? And Travis earns some money by carrying grocery bags and likes to play outside with other neighborhood children. And he sleeps on the living room sofa, by the way. Oh my god, this is Bobo. Ooh, Bobo! One of Walter's partner in the liquor store plant, Bobo appears to be as mentally slow as his name indicates. It's funny. This is Willie Harris, a friend of Walter Younger and coordinator of the liquor store plant. Willie never appears on stage, which helps keep the focus on the store and the dynamics of the Younger family. And lastly, this is Mrs. Johnson, the youngest neighbor. Mrs. Johnson takes advantage of the youngest hospitality and warns them about moving into a white neighborhood because they have a black skin. So as you can see, Mrs. Johnson is how do I explain this? Mrs. Johnson is doesn't want the youngers to move into the all white neighborhoods because sometimes other white people discriminate other people that has darker skin than them, and they think they're superior than them. So that's why Mrs. Johnson doesn't want them to move to the all white neighborhood. We are almost there, guys. So this is the summary for A Reason in the Sun.
Reason in the Sun portrays a few weeks in the life of the Youngers, a black family living on the south side of Chicago in the 1950s. When the play opens, the Youngers are about to receive an insurance check for $10,000. This money comes from the deceased from Mr. Younger's life insurance policy. The adult members of the family has an idea as to what he or she would like to do with this money. The matriarch of the family, Mama, wants to buy a house to fulfill a dream she shared with her husband. Mama's son, Walter Lee, would rather use the money to invest in a liquor store with his friends. He believes that the investment will solve the family's financial problems forever. Walter's wife, Ruth, agrees with Mama, however, and hopes that she and Walter can provide more space and opportunity for their son, Travis. Finally, Benita, Walter's sister and Mama's daughter, wants to use the money for her medical school tuition. She also wishes that her family members were not so interested in assimilating into the white world. Benita insisted tries to find her identity by looking back to the past and to Africa. As the play progresses, the Youngers clash over their competing dreams. Ruth discovers that she is pregnant but fears that if she has the child, she will put more financial pressure on her family members. When Walter says nothing to Ruth's admission that she is considering abortion, Mama puts down a payment on a house for the whole family. She believes that a bigger, brighter dwelling will help them all. This house in Clybourne Park, an entirely white neighborhood. When the Youngers' future neighbors find out that the Youngers are moving in, they send Mr. Linder from the Clybourne Park Improvement Association to offer the Youngers money in return for staying away. The Youngers refuse the deal, even after Walter loses the rest of the money, $6,500, to his friend Willie Harris, who persuades Walter to invest in the liquor store and then runs off with his cash. In the meantime, Benita rejects her suitor, George Murchison, whom she believes to be shallow and blind to the problems of race. Subsequently, she receives a marriage proposal from her Nigerian boyfriend, Joseph Asagay, who wants Benita to get a medical degree and move to Africa with him. Benita does not make her choice before the end of the play. The youngers eventually move out of the apartment, fulfilling the family's long-held dream. Their future seems uncertain and slightly dangerous, but they are optimistic and determined to live a better life. They believe that they can succeed if they stick together as a family and resolve to defer their dreams no longer.
It's quiz time!
Question number 1. In what city do the youngers live? A. New York City, B. Chicago, C. Los Angeles, and letter D. St. Louis.
If you answered the letter B, which is Chicago, you were correct!
Question number 2. From whom are the youngers awaiting a check? Letter A. Insurance company, B. The government, letter C. A distant relative, and lastly, letter D. Walter's employer.
If you answer the letter A, an insurance company, you are correct!
Question number 3. What do the youngers give Mama on the day they move? Letter A. Gardening equipment, letter B. New curtains, letter C. A plant, letter D. A new cloth.
This is the answer, which is letter A, gardening equipment. If you answer this letter A, you are correct!
Question 4. What does Benita want to be? Letter A. A lawyer, letter B. A teacher, letter C. A doctor, letter D. An actress.
The answer is letter C, a doctor. If this is your answer, you were correct!
And lastly, question number 5. What does Carl Linder wants the youngers to do? Letter A. Join the Clybourne Park Improvement Association. Letter B. Work in the community garden. Letter C. Invest in a liquor store. Letter D. Give up moving to Clybourne Park.
So is letter D, give up moving to Clybourne Park. If this is your answer, once again, you were correct!
Didn't know that the honeymoon's just a phase. Now I understand, I learned it firsthand with you.